Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Who are these people?
Notice me, senpai. Notice me.
Don't be rude.
Who are these?
Who are these people? Not welcome. This is another episode of Pro Wrestling Talk. I kind of forgot what show we're doing.
Yeah. Well, so many shows, so little time.
I'm Angel Rivera alongside Witchy Perfect once again for another episode. We're going to be reviewing Saturday night's main event. And
we're going to be reviewing a lot, because, I mean, I had a major headache almost a migraine, and that really hurts, especially when you can't get rid of it. Yeah,
I know. So, that's because we have so little time. Let's get into it. So, I mean, I had to run and go get a new water or sparkling water because my actual water bottle froze over. But that's all right, problems, first world problems. I solved it, so let's move on. So I guess we'll start with Saturday night's main event and we'll kind of move into the other things here. So Saturday night's main event was last Saturday. We were supposed to review it Sunday, but Witchy wasn't feeling well, so we saved it for today. It was in Atlanta, Georgia at the State Farm Arena. It drew 13,010 people. The tagline, no one spared, everyone speared. That's what it says in the tagline and the poster. So
right. It was interesting.
All right, so we had 4 matches in the card. It was 2 hours. First off, there were way too many commercials. It felt like, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, it was like 2 minutes of commercial or 2 minutes of show and then 10 minutes of commercial.
Like, oh my god, that's terrible.
2 minutes, and they came back and went to another commercial.
All right, so the first match had Randy Orton with Jelly Roll defeating Drew McIntyre with Logan Paul by a pinfall in 8 minutes and 26 seconds.
I like the Randy Orton part, but really Jelly Roll. Hi Max.
This match it's going to set up a match at SummerSlam, but we'll get to that. What do you think?
And that's what you were saying.
Yeah, and it did set up.
That's what you were saying. Yeah, because it's now going to be Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre against Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. So we have 2 wrestlers, 2 very well scripted wrestlers who could wrestle, and one is third generation.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Drew McIntyre who can wrestle. He's a good heel. He plays the part. And then you have two that are non-wrestlers. Okay. Now this takes me back. I think I had mentioned this, but this takes me back to what happened with Kurt and Chad Brock. Though I don't know if anyone knows this, but actually Chad Brock was actually a wrestler in 1996 for WCW. And he had a career-ending injury and then went into music. He went into country music. And so that made a spectacular storyline going into the fact that him and Kurt were kind of like, Kurt was supposed to be jealous of him. And, you know, Kurt was in the West Texas Rednecks, so he was already in a band. And I know how much Kurt loved this storyline because it had two of his favorite things, you know, a country singer slash used to be wrestler. And I mean, it just had country music in it. So it was right up his alley because just loved it. And that kind of it kind of reminds me of that, you know, when they were doing the West Texas Rednecks and they were, you know, against the rap, you know, rap is crap. And what the thing is, Jelly Roll, yes, has lost a lot of weight. I will give him that. Okay. Lost a lot of weight. He looks a little better, but wrestling, I mean, why are they getting all these celebrities into wrestling when they're not wrestlers? They did it with all the rappers. You know, they did it with Master P. Master P even showed up on AEW recently. So I'm kind of curious of why they are getting all these celebrities. They did it with back in the day, Karl Malone, and they did it with Dennis Rodman. So Dennis Rodman, okay, I get that. And then they were getting all the football people, Kevin Green, eventually Goldberg, who would be on the Atlanta Falcons. But
yeah, Goldberg himself was an NFL player, so technically he would be like part of that celebrity group that got into wrestling. But yeah, I mean, but celebrities in wrestling has always happened, even going back to the territory days. Andy Kaufman and Jerry Lawler, remember that one?
Yep. I'm from Hollywood.
Mr. T and Hogan teaming up at WrestleMania 1 in the main event. And so this isn't a new thing, but WWE is like an entertainment company, so they're going to try to use these celebrities in wrestling matches. Jelly Roll looks good. He throws good punches. You know, he sells well, but especially when he took at the end of the match, after the match, he took McIntyre's finish.
The Claymore, right?
Claymore. Yeah, it looked good.
He sold it like death. Yeah, that was good. I did like that. I didn't like the whole Logan Paul, you know, jumping up and down, acting like he's a freaking you're not a wrestler. Go back to YouTube. Please go back to YouTube.
It's like an ironic gimmick because he's pretending now that he's a part of the business and he doesn't want all these celebrities in the business. Like it's ironic, you know, because he's one of them too. So he's a heel. He's playing that part okay. Well, I mean, you know, people hate him for it, but you know, the match itself was it was good. You know, it's a good opener. Randy won, and that set up that tag team match.
Person won.
Yeah.
I like Drew McIntyre though here because he's also selling it. You know, he's like being that heel that he's supposed to be. I just don't know if he would be like a baby face right now. If being a baby face for him would be a good thing, though. I think they were trying it at first, but then I think they were like, "No, this ain't working out right." Right?
Yeah.
I just don't think right now it's okay for Drew McIntyre to be a baby face. It's better if he just does a heel gimmick right now.
He'll go back to it, but for now,
he'll go back to it. But right now would not be a good time. And the whole Logan Paul thing, I don't like Logan Paul. I think he should stay with YouTube and just make a career of that. Even if that's just a gimmick or whatever, just, you know, go back to YouTube. But we're going to play the game. Of course, we're going to play the game where, you know, Jelly Roll, it's Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. And I like how they're really good friends, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of music Randy Orton enjoys. That's none of my business. But I mean, it would make more sense like if someone for like Kurt or something. Because like I said, it really made sense that Chad Brock would come back to WCW because he was a WCW superstar at one point, and of course would have a feud with Kurt, you know, while they were doing the West Texas Rednecks. Excuse me, sorry. So I liked the match. I just didn't like the extra activity. I thought that was kind
Yeah.
of corny. But I did like Jelly Roll. He sold the Claymore like death, and that was good.
Yeah, I thought that was good too. All right, so the next match was a U.S. title match with Solo Sikoa, the champion, with JC Mateo, Tala Tonga, the big guy, and Tonga Loa defeating Jimmy Uso by pinfall in 10 minutes and 49 seconds.
Well, we knew this. That we knew that Jimmy Uso was not going to be U.S. champ. I mean, for the people who actually held that title in WCW, because it's a WCW title, it was never a WWE title until WWE bought out WCW, like Michael Cole said or tried to allude to. So actually, you had the greats like I think Ric Flair had the U.S. belt. I know. I think Rick Rude had the U.S. belt at one point. I know Kurt Hennig had the U.S. belt. I just don't think Solo Sikoa should have it. And I know that there's going to be a rematch between him and Jacob Fatu. That's who they're going to strap a racket to. I like Solo Sikoa. I think he does a lot of good work, but I knew they weren't going to give this belt to Jimmy. I don't know what they're going to do with Jimmy Uso, but it's not elevate him. And I hate to say that because Jimmy is Jay's little brother, and they should at least, if they're going to elevate one brother, they need to do the other one too.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seems like Jimmy is going to be the Marty Jannetty of the tag team. Because everybody, if you're older, you know the story of the Rockers, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty.
Right.
They were separated. The barbershop, that infamous angle where Shawn Michaels threw Marty Jannetty through the barbershop glass, and Shawn Michaels went on to become a huge star, and Marty Jannetty
just
became
kind of
Marty
flat
Jannetty.
out. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not saying Jimmy Uso kind of flame out. I mean, I'm sure that he's going to be useful in WWE. He's not a drug addict like Marty, but
right. That was Marty's downfall. He was an alcoholic and a druggie. So
that was.
I just don't see Jimmy Uso rising to Jay's level. I hate to say that because I mean they are brothers, they are twins.
Unfortunately, no, I don't really see that for Jimmy. All right, so it was an okay match. I mean, Jimmy is not the best worker either. Solo carried the match and he won. After the match, they were beating up Jimmy, and Jacob came out to make the save and beat them all up, and that they set up the match for the U.S. title at SummerSlam. This time in a steel cage, though. So
yes, and I don't really like steel cages, but I like this one because I think this is this will be good to see. I can't wait to see this match because I think there's going to be a lot of blood. There's also no disqualification. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's steel cage.
Okay, so you're going to have guys coming out. So Jimmy Uso is going to come out for Jacob, and then of course you have the whole bloodline come out for Solo Sikoa. You have Fatu, or excuse me, not Fatu, Tonga Loa, Tonga, whatever the other guy's name is.
Tala Tonga. Again, it's kind of confusing because
Tonga Loa and Tonga, yeah.
Yeah, Tala Tonga. So the big guy.
There's going to be several others that have to come out because obviously we want to even up the score. But I mean, for now, we all know that Mateo, Tonga Loa are all going to come out for Solo.
Yeah.
And help him win. So we already know Jimmy Uso. There could be other people. Maybe Roman Reigns shows into his face. I know he showed it on Raw. Yeah. We'll get to that too. I just there's going to be a lot of faces. There's going to be a lot of people coming in, interfering in this. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of chaos, but I think this is what we all want to see. We all want to see a steel cage match between these two because they're going to be spectacular in it.
Yeah,
especially Jacob Fatu.
I expect Jacob to get the belt back. I mean, I think that's still really what they're setting up here. Because if it was just a one-on-one match, you have all this interference and he gets beat again. But this time in a steel cage match, so I would expect him to get that belt back. All right,
I do too.
The next match had LA Knight defeating Seth Rollins by pinfall in 11 minutes 38 seconds. Now, this match, forget about the match. The match was what it was. The Seth Rollins injury. Right now, initially you thought it was a work, and I was like, no, apparently it's real. and he's going to be out for a few weeks or a while. So
yeah, he actually did hurt his knee, and the reason why I said it was a work, or what I thought was a work, because he had voiced his interest in the Gunther, taking on Gunther versus whoever won for Goldberg. So if Goldberg won, he would take. I thought it was like, okay, Goldberg won and he has a good retirement match and he goes out the champion, but then Seth Rollins takes it from him. That way we wouldn't have to have a stupid 4-way matches that you were kind of saying that Triple H is like in love with right now.
Yeah,
I don't want to see matches.
That's what he did for the King and Queen of the Ring. The initial round, like a fatal 4-way for everyone.
Right. And back in the day, I liked it better when it was like, like they had 3 matches between Doink and Kurt, Mr. Perfect and Doink, because they would go the time limit draws, but then on Raw, they could, or as long as they needed to.
So Seth got hurt. He started talking to the referee and the trainer. I'm guessing he was calling an audible because he's supposed to win initially, and then he was calling an audible. Then the referees got out of the way. LA Knight, and the referee talked to LA Knight, and then that's when he talked to him about changing the finish. He hit his finish 1, 2, 3, and that was it. LA won, and very awkwardly kind of slinked out of the ring, like he knew. So he didn't really celebrate much. He just slinked out of the ring while Seth was helped to the back. So.
Right. And that's where I kind of maybe I got confused because they didn't show that part. They didn't show him being carried back to the ring, and that's where I was kind of like, it has to be a work.
They went to commercial.
I think something's going to happen between Goldberg and Gunther and Seth Rollins.
That's what happened when they went to commercial. Fans like filmed it on their camera phones, and they carried him to the back. So, yeah.
So that's where I was kind of thinking, this has to be a work because. I don't know. Like, I feel like there was something in the works for Seth to do something with Gunther and Goldberg.
Probably.
And if there wasn't, I mean, at the time, I just think that, they were kind of like setting it up for it. And maybe that's where I got confused.
Yeah,
and
probably.
Thought, oh, shit. But even Jim Cornette was saying, he kind of said, hey, can you take the finish? And we'll just kind of switch it. And he's like, I can take LA Knight's finish. And he kind of up, and limped towards LA Knight.
Seth Rollins was the veteran, and he was calling the match, I'm sure. So he called an audible and had LA Knight beat him, even though he probably goes to win.
Yeah, and I give Seth Rollins a lot of shit, because I don't like Seth Rollins. I think he's a flamboyant kind of person. And I just don't like the whole. His voice is very whiny. If I'm trying to be nice here, but I do give him a lot of shit. But he was literally, I mean, you could see it on his face. Like, and I thought, well, okay, that's just a work because he's good at what he does. He's a good seller. There's no doubt about that. He's great at selling. I just don't like the whole whiny voice, Seth Rollins, that kind of thing. But it was a good match.
He blew out his knee like 10 years ago when he was WWE champion the first time.
Okay.
So, which is why he's kind of knee injuries for him are kind of sensitive. I assumed he was wearing a knee brace, but I guess not because apparently it was the same knee hurt again. So this time is not as serious apparently, but he's still going to be out for a while. So it's going into Raw. Paul Heyman basically said, well, he has until next June to cash in. So no, we're not giving up this briefcase for now. It's like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. All right, so the main event, which was the longest match in the card, unbelievably, Gunther defeating Goldberg by submission or technical submission. To be fair,
we were both shocked when this ended. The way it ended, I just was like, Goldberg has to win this match. I mean, it's his retirement match, and the whole thing with going out. I know they don't make it a rule. They don't make it a rule that, if you have a retirement match, you automatically have to win. I get that. But you and I were both thinking that literally he has to win this. But then I think because of the Seth Rollins thing, because that took a lot of time. So this was going to be probably Goldberg's longest match of his career. And it was. Because every other match he's ever had ended in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, because
and that's not a thing. That's just because Goldberg only had 3 moves and he didn't know how to move.
That was done to hide his The
fact that he couldn't wrestle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
WCW did that to hide the fact he only had 3 moves, and
right.
that was it.
And there's a lot of guys that they put in front of him who he actually, for fuck's sake, during the match, he cracked the ribs of the referee because he speared him. Because he still doesn't know how to do the moves.
Yeah, so it's 15 minutes and 20 seconds. Gunther pulled out the most he could out of Goldberg. And it wasn't much. It wasn't a good match, but he pulled the most he could out of Bill Goldberg.
Well, and you can see Goldberg was very stiff. He was he was all blown up.
5 minutes into the match.
Moving very well in that match or in any match he's ever been in, but he just didn't move the way he should have moved. And you and I were seeing that. I'm like, he doesn't look like he's in a match. He looks like he's in a marathon.
Like he's literally he was literally like standing still like a statue, and Gunther had to work around him. Basically.
Around it, yeah. I actually kind of felt bad for Gunther on that one.
It's unfortunate, he got the most he could out of him. At one point, as you just brought up, Goldberg managed to do a ref bump spot, but of course, he managed to break Charles Robinson's ribs. Oh God!
Just like he did with everybody. When he faced Kurt in 1998, Kurt said that he knocked the wind out of him when he speared him. He speared Kurt Hennig and knocked the wind out of him. And yeah, I mean, look what he did to Brett. I mean, I hate to beat a dead horse, but I mean, this bears repeating what he did to Brett. He kicked him in the head and ruined his career.
Yeah, Charles Robinson has been around for decades. I mean, he's refereeing WCW, and Goldberg knows him, and that's why he probably refed his final match. And of course, by the way, Goldberg has not apologized for breaking Charles Robinson's ribs.
Nobody bitched about everything else.
Yeah, he's complained about the match. I was like, "Are you kidding me, dude?" He complained about the match. He did never apologize to Charles Robinson, by the way, since he did that interview, and he complained about WWE not giving him enough time for his speech, his retirement speech. And
that's because of the Seth Rollins thing, and really, it wasn't. It was WWE's foul up. I will say that. But the fact that you just literally had the longest match of your own fucking career, your whole fucking career, you only had about 15 minutes? About 15 minutes? So it was like 14, 20 it went. Oh, 15, 20. Okay.
Exactly. That's where it went.
So you already just had a 15-minute match, which is the longest match you've ever had in your fucking career. Now you're going to sit here and bitch that they could not have an overrun. NBC will not be like AEW on TNT and TBS. They will not give them an overrun. There is no such thing as an overrun on Saturday night's main event. There never was.
Because NBC, there's broadcast rules because they fall under the FCC regulations and broadcast TV, so they have to be off the air by 10 o'clock.
By 10 o'clock.
In order to go to local news, so it has to be like that. It's like law, basically, regulation. Like they have.
And because of the Seth Rollins thing, which was not planned, and things like that happen. Shit happens. I feel bad for Seth Rollins right now, but I don't feel bad for Goldberg. Look, Goldberg, if you ever do hear this, shit happens. There is a guy who now cannot wrestle, who won Money in the Bank, and now he cannot wrestle for several months. Hopefully not a whole year.
It seemed like the Goldberg expectation he's supposed to win the match and become world champion and then drop it to Seth. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. He got hurt, so they changed the finish to Gunther actually retaining the belt.
And I think that's what happened. And to sit here and bitch about it and complain about it, look, dude, Goldberg, I get it, okay? You wanted to be world champion one more time. Well, shit happens. Seth Rollins didn't ask to get hurt, and now he's going to be out for however long he's out for. And, first of all, you winning that belt would have been horrible because there's no way you're going to come back and defend it. So even if they had to do these fatal 4-ways, if you drop the belt, like let's say they just said, okay, well, we'll still have you win the belt, but you can take it and we'll just get another belt. That's not what I don't think that was going to happen.
No.
But I do see Seth cashing in, but now Seth's hurt, so he can't.
I suspect that was the original finish, but they had to kind of switch things around because of his injury.
Right.
So, and now
you can't go out with the belt anymore. Again, shit happens, and they took too much time for Seth Rollins. I get that. but Seth Rollins was hurt, so they were trying to call an audible as quickly as they could. He said the trainer asking Seth, "Hey, can you take the finish?" And Seth is like, "Yeah, I can take the finish." So he hobbled over there
towards him, took the finish.
to take LA Knight's finish. I mean,
1, 2, 3.
Like I said, I give Seth Rollins a lot of shit, but man, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
the fact that he could get back up and he had the fortitude to get back up and take the finish and
he hopped
loss.
Over. He hopped
literally
over.
He's hobbling on the leg.
Yeah, and he took the finish.
Him. I actually felt bad.
He didn't have to put LA Knight over. He could have basically said, "I can't go," walk, and that's it, and they would do a non-finish.
And LA Knight would have won if he forfeited, just like they did with Liv Morgan. And
he didn't have to put him over. I'm sure Triple H, okay, fine, we'll just do that. But to his credit, he put LA Knight over by pinfall. So he took his finish and beat him.
And like I said, I give Seth Rollins a lot of shit, and I'm going to stop doing it because that was pretty awesome what Seth Rollins did for LA Knight right there.
Yeah, that helped LA Knight. He pinned the Seth Rollins. It helps him. So yeah, that was Saturday night's main event. It was good for what it was.
I just want to say about Goldberg. I mean, I retweeted this on my Twitter feed. If you want to go back and look through, I was like, "Shut the fuck up, Goldberg." You know what? Bitch, moan and complain all you want. There's Terry Funk. Literally, his last match was, I think, a barbed wire match, and he still lost.
Yeah,
he wanted to lose. Ask Bret Hart about his match with Terry Funk. He wanted to put Terry Funk over, and Terry Funk said, "No, I'm going to put you over, Bret."
No, I'm going to put you over, Bret. I can't do the voice. That's not exactly his voice, but yeah, I mean, no, I'm going to put you over, Bret. He
was going to put him over. So I mean, even like people like Terry Funk who are legends in this sport. You're not a legend, Goldberg. You're just a piece of shit who got lucky because someone actually strapped a rocket to your ass and made this phony, made up fucking streak that no one gave a shit about after a while, and they were booing Goldberg.
Yeah, before we get to All In, I just hilarious. Terry Funk announced his retirement in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and the 2010s. So every decade he had a retirement match. He always came back. So it's like, Terry's not retiring until he dies. That's pretty much what happened. Pretty much what happened. He worked in 2017, 2018. He passed what was it, a year ago?
Right.
Yeah. So
well, and then I saw those themes where Bret is like, I would have turned it off a lot faster than that. And I agree with Bret. I mean, it was a horrible match for Goldberg because he could not move very well. He was very stiff with Gunther. Gunther did his best with him. Yeah. Yeah, he did his best with him, and that's because Gunther. Sorry, not Gopher. Sorry, Gunther. No, Gunther is an old school kind of mentality wrestler where they actually wanted to wrestle. He wants to wrestle. His move or finisher is literally the sleeper. Yeah. So I mean, it's like old school, repertoires. I think Piper had the sleeper. He put Hogan to sleep 3 times. There was a lot of some of them it was a full Nelson where they would lock their fingers and then I give up.
Bobby Lashley has that finish. I forget what he calls it, but yeah, he has that finish, a full Nelson, and guys just instantly tap out with so much pain. All right.
And that was a lot of the old wrestlers that had those submission holds as finishers. I loved it, except for the fact that Goldberg is sitting here bitching about, and I listened to a guy, I forgot his name now, but I do have it retweeted on my page. So if you guys want to see that, links are in the description field for my page. Check that out because the guy's like, I don't want to hear from Goldberg. I don't want to hear from him. I don't want anything to do with him. Just go on your merry way.
You got the fucker.
Even thank the goddess above, or thank whatever God he prays to. Pray to your God and thank your God that you even had a fucking retirement match. Because there's a lot of wrestlers out there who have passed on who wish they could have had a retirement match.
The fucker got a retirement match, and he in Atlanta, his hometown, and with all his fans there,
in his hometown.
and the WCW guys were there. Some of the WCW guys were there, and he's still not happy with it. So fuck him, let's just not think about him again. He's not gonna have another match, so he'll go away, whatever.
And I heard a rumor, or I don't know if this is true or not. He's like, I'll just go to AEW and have a retirement match. Go, then go. If you want to break your fucking body, you want to go through glass and shit, go.
What is Tony Khan gonna do? Who does he have ready for Goldberg? Bobby Lashley? Maybe.
I have no idea. Maybe it'll be Kenny O fucking Mega.
Maybe that's the only one that has enough credibility to go up against Goldberg. But
yeah, I mean, if they're gonna put him over, but if he wants to go through glass and shit, be my guest.
Goldberg ain't putting anybody over in AEW. There's no way. And Tony said, Goldberg tells Tony, "I got to win this match." Oh, of course, you got to win. Obviously, you got to win, like he did with Sting. Sting did not put a single person over in AEW. He's 32-0, and Tony's bragging about it when he retired. Like,
yeah, they might as well put. Well, and it's Mercedes Moné. They might as well put a mustache on her and put the bandana on.
To be fair to Mercedes, she actually put over Tony Storm at the pay-per-view. So,
well, okay, so one time.
Yeah, it's the first loss in AEW. All right, so I'm not going to go through everything and all in. I'm just going to,
I didn't even watch it. Did you watch it?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, there were 3 pre-show matches, which were like multi-man matches. So let's see. The first one was an 8-man tag, of course.
Apparently, Triple H is not the only one in love with this shit.
Well, Tony always books these ridiculous like multi-man tag matches. They were like, I think there was a 12-man tag match on one of the Dynamite show he did in Mexico. That doesn't matter.
There was a lot of guys in there, and they some of them had to stand on the floor because there was just too many guys flying around.
Yeah, the Sons of Texas. So the Sons of Texas are Dustin Rhodes, Marshall Von Erich, Ross Von Erich, and Sammy Guevara, with Kevin Von Erich defeating Shane Taylor Promotions, Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, Charlie Bravo, and Captain Sean Dean, with Anthony Ogogo and Trish Adora in ringside.
As Jim Cornette says, a go-go, a mogo, a go-go.
Anthony Ogogo had one match in AEW against Cody Rhodes. It was so bad that he hasn't wrestled since, and he's basically been a manager. So, all right, so Marshall Von Erichs, Marshall, Ross, and with Kevin. Kevin Von Erich was there. Like, nice to see Kevin, but
I did see that where he had some kind of Legends deal, I think. Tony.
Yeah, apparently Tony's paying him to do what? He's never worked for AEW, so how he has a Legends deal, I don't know. What to do what? I mean, to promote AEW? I don't think Kevin Von Erich gives a shit about AEW, except his sons are there.
Wow, his sons are in wrestling?
Yeah, Marshall Von Erich and Ross.
Are in AEW. Yeah. Guys, no. This is like the Gun Boys. No.
Mm-hmm.
No, go to NXT. Go to NXT.
Unfortunately, both Von Erich boys are kind of drunk the Kool-Aid of AEW. They're like, oh, it's better than WWE, so that's why we went to AEW. It was like, oh, yeah, they're fucked. I mean, they're freaking drinking the Kool-Aid over there. They're screwed. Look, I get it. If you sign with AEW, you want to get paid. Tony's a money mark. You want to get paid from him for a few years, then go to WWE. Fine. But no, it seems like they're drinking the Kool-Aid and believing in the AEW vision. So it's not good.
I mean, has anyone even heard from the Gun Boys lately?
I don't think they were even on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, they're not even in wrestling anymore. So
they weren't even on the pay-per-view, I don't think.
These are second-generation guys that are literally deluding themselves into believing that Tony Khan is where it's at, because apparently if you go to NXT and WWE, you go there to die. No. Cody Rhodes is second generation, and he's the top babyface in the whole fucking thing. Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, all second generation guys, and all at the top of their fields. I'm not saying that happens for everybody. Look what happened with Joe, and he was third generation.
Marshall and Ross are really good. I mean, they could have a future in wrestling, but unfortunately, Tony Khan doesn't have much of a training system, and who knows what they're going to do in the business unless they end up in WWE and NXT. They're still pretty young, so Kevin knows better. I'm sure he took care of training his sons. That's why they're good. Yeah. But yeah, hopefully they don't pick up any bad habits while they're there.
Right.
All right. The next match in the pre-show was the YouTubers, Big Boom, AJ, and the conglomeration Kyle O'Reilly hologram, and Tomohiro Ishii with Big Justice and the Rizzler defeated the Don Callis family. Hechicero, Lance Archer, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta by pinfall. Oh my god. Another one of
That's
these
all I
8-man
got to say about
tags.
that.
And Big Boom, AJ, Big Justice, and the Rizzler are these YouTubers. You know, they appeared before in AEW. So
is this like the whole new Logan Paul 2.0? I mean, that's bad enough. It's bad enough that Logan Paul is.
Yeah, but much worse. You know, I mean, these guys, these guys are not really that good. I mean, and the Rizzler is giving wrestlers spears, and they're selling it like death. The Rizzler is like this 10-year-old kid, whatever. Burying the business.
This is what I'm saying, and I'm trying to be as nice as I can, but again, we are both on YouTube. We both have shows on YouTube. We both have successful shows on YouTube, just like Kit Cabela. But you don't see us getting in the wrestling business, do you? I mean, come on, guys. We're YouTubers. We're not wrestlers.
Tony Khan's a money mark. You've seen these guys. These guys went viral a few times on YouTube and on wherever they are, TikTok, I think it is. And let's bring them in to be wrestlers, and have matches in the pre-shows now on pay-per-views. All right, the third pre-show match. FTR with Stokely defeated the Outrunners, Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd by a pinfall. Okay. Gives a shit. All right. The first match in the pay-per-view was The Ops, Katsuyori Shibata, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Samoa Joe defeating the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Useless, and Gabe Kidd by pinfall. Ugh. Fucking hell.
I didn't see it, but
why is Powerhouse Hobbs opening the pay-per-view? He should be main eventing against Moxley and beating him and becoming champion.
Because
instead we
Tony
got the
Khan
Hangnail as
what
champion.
Right, but Tony Khan does not know what a real star is. They make Power Hobbs, a non-star.
Yeah,
okay?
He's just opening
even though
the
he is probably one of the best wrestlers they have on the card at this point. And I'm just saying that from what Jim Cornette has been saying. I don't know. I've never seen Powerhouse Hobbs. I wouldn't know him if he stepped on me. So, all I'm saying is that, I mean, Tony Khan, when he sees a star, he says, oh, well, that'll be my mid-card opener.
Yeah. Because he's obsessed.
Then you're going to have shitty wrestling. And this is why your views, your ratings are literally in the toilet.
He's obsessed with the smaller guys and like the Hangnail and Moxley and the Bucks and who else has competed for that world title?
Twinkle Toes, my finger.
Yeah. Omega and Okada, that's who he's obsessed with. Not not actually drawing money and building a house, or building a house. Drawing a house.
Wrestling house. Yeah.
Drawing. All right, so that was that. The next match had MJF pinning Roderick Strong to win the men's Casino Gauntlet match for a future AEW World Title match. That's basically their Money in the Bank. So MJF has that chip, and he can cash it in whenever he wants to become champion again.
Right. I just think it's such a knockoff of WWE.
It's a Money in the Bank, essentially. That's what it is. But they don't call it that.
Just call it Money in the Bank and get sued.
Yeah, they don't call it that. Tony doesn't want to get sued for copyright infringement. But whatever. All right, the next match, Dustin Rhodes defeated Daniel Garcia with Matt Menard, whoever that is, Kyle Fletcher, and Sammy Guevara to become the TNT champion.
Yeah, I saw this. I mean, they had everyone was hoisting Dustin on their shoulders, and I mean, good for him. He actually won a fucking belt as Goldust. Did he win anything?
That's a nice moment. To be fair, he was Intercontinental Champion as Goldust once, I think, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once he got the Intercontinental, he didn't get any kind of. See, that's the thing. I think a lot of people take Dustin for granted. I see a lot of Dustin.
He's a good worker.
Now he's a lot older. He's a good worker, and he's a lot older now. But at least he's away from that Goldust.
Yeah,
shit,
he's the natural.
Which
he
was
went back to being the natural
itself,
Dustin Rhodes, but. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the match, but I did see Dustin winning the belt and, celebrating.
Yeah, we saw it on X, where everyone was the belt hoisting him on his shoulders. As if he just won the world title, the heavyweight title.
He won the belt that Cody created after, Cody was the first TNT champion. So, Dustin winning that belt is a nice moment, but did you see? I think it was on Collision. I didn't see it live, but I did see it on X. Daniel Garcia burying himself on the mic.
No.
So some other wrestler came out to the ring and put him over. Basically, it's like, hey, I beat Daniel Garcia, the former TNT champion. I mean, that
Oh, I
makes me a
heard
big
about this
deal,
on
right?
Jim Cornette, though. Yeah,
Yeah, and
and he's
then
like, everybody beats Daniel
yeah,
Garcia, and I'm
he
like,
just buried
why did you?
himself.
Why did you? First of all, you referred to yourself in the third person. Second of
Yeah,
all, you totally just dissed your own self. What
you
the
buried
fuck?
yourself. He's like, oh, who hasn't beaten Daniel Garcia? And then he lists like 10 different dudes that he beaten him, and I'm like, dude. I think he was trying to own the other guy, but he accidentally owned himself and
Own
didn't
himself,
realize it.
yeah, because the other guy was probably laughing at him.
Mm-hmm. The other guy put him over, like, hey, I beat Daniel Garcia. That's a big deal. He's former TNT champion. You know, he's one of the top guys here, which he isn't, but that's what
No,
that's what they claim. But Daniel Garcia comes out and just buries himself. Like, oh yeah, I mean, everybody's beating me. It's like, oh, you fucking idiot. And why did Tony allow him to say that? Like, I don't think he knew. He just went out there and said it. If I'm Tony, like, oh, you idiot, you just buried yourself. And I can't
and he
do
made
anything
us
with
look
you.
like, an embarrassment. Like, oh, everyone beats me. Well,
Mm.
that's good to know that, AEW doesn't know how to fucking book and that everyone can just beat you.
No.
Thanks.
All right. The next match was a tag match. Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay with Prince Nana defeating the Young Bucks. Since the Young Bucks lost, they were stripped of their EVP titles. Had Ospreay and
Got us for that.
Strickland lost, they would not be able to challenge for the AEW World Title for 1 year. So yeah, the Bucks lost and no longer EVPs and storyline, whatever. That was that match. And by the way, it went viral on X where these four morons decided to do a obviously choreographed Cirque du Soleil thing would look ridiculous. But if you've seen that, you know what I'm talking about. It like, if you pay $50 for this, I feel you're an idiot.
Yeah, you're an idiot. You just throw away money because you want to.
Mm-hmm. All right, the next match had Athena pinning Mina Shirakawa to become the women's Casino Gauntlet winner for a future AEW World Title match. Women's World Title match, rather.
Whoopee.
Athena is Ember Moon from WWE. She had a run WWE like years ago, so she's been basically relegated to Ring of Honor for like years. She's been in AEW, but she's been in Ring of Honor. Actually, I forgot about her.
Well, obviously, they didn't see anything in her in WWE, and that's why they got rid of her. See, that's the thing. Tony is taking Vince's and Triple H's sloppy seconds,
Vince, they fired her. She was complaining backstage about her push, and Vince is like, who is this bitch? They get rid of her. You think she can go be successful somewhere else, and this is the first time we've seen her AEW TV in years.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. The next match was a 3-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Titles. The Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin with MVP, MJF and MVP, defeated Jet Speed, Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey, the Patriarchy, Christian Cage and Nick Wayne, with Kip Sabian and Mother Wayne by pinfall. Oh, like how many people are ringside for every match?
Well, and Jim Cornette was talking about how people were saying, oh, well, in a real fight, no one could take down Speedball, or what they call Spitball. He called him Spitball, not Speedball, but he called him Spitball. And then they were talking about like, oh, well, Bobby Lashley couldn't take him in a real fight because Spitball knows karate. I said, excuse me?
Bobby Lashley
was in the military, you dumb motherfuckers.
He's not only in the military, but he did MMA fights. He did
MMA fights.
He was 14-1. He was 14-1 in MMA.
Oh, it gets better. There was apparently someone that said that Spitball could actually take 90% of the roster in professional wrestling. I went, which roster? Which roster?
In the WWE? I mean, there's
Randy Orton was in the military. There are several other wrestlers that were in the military there, sweetums.
I could name 20 dudes in WWE who kick his ass.
Who could kick his ass and not even break a sweat. Yeah. I can name some dead wrestlers that could still kick his ass.
Have you seen Speedball Mike Bailey? He's like the tiniest guy on the roster.
But because he had martial arts, there's some people out there who are deluding themselves into thinking that he could actually win a real fight.
CM Punk can take him, and CM Punk was
That's what I was in the car going, CM Punk could kick the shit out of him. I know Randy Orton could because he was in the military. I know Bobby Lashley could because he was in the military. There's a lot of other wrestlers who were in the military who could whoop this guy's ass. There's dead wrestlers that could wrestle him and beat his ass.
You can name a few. Harley Race,
Kurt Hennig,
Haku, Kurt Hennig, Rick Rude. Yeah, I could name 20 dudes.
You didn't fuck with Rick Rude, dude. I'm telling you what, right now, even if he was the biggest guy in the yard, you still didn't fuck with Rick Rude, dude. I'd be like, yes, Mr. Rude. No, Mr. Rude. I would not fuck with him. Yeah. He could literally fuck you up.
So real quick, the Tony Storm pinned Mercedes Moné for the women's title, whatever. Kazuchika Okada, Continental Champion with Don Callis, defeated Kenny Omega with Kota Ibushi to become the Unified Champion. Apparently this match was really bad. Okada and Omega were just way past their prime and really slow. I don't know how true that is. I didn't see it, but
I think Jim was saying how, this is a guy. This Twinkle Toes McFingerbang is literally a guy who wrestles Japanese girls. He's a fucking pedophile, guys. Name one wrestler other than Fingerbang who literally wrestles Japanese girls. I will wait because no wrestlers I know of would do that.
Omega wrestled a blow-up doll.
Yeah, a blow-up doll
in Japan.
So he's a freak. Okay. I never liked Kenny Omega. Jim Cornette never liked Kenny Omega. He's a piece of shit.
I was not impressed with his work ever. And everybody still watches Japanese matches. I'm like, no, thank you.
No, where he wrestles Japanese girls and gets off on that? No.
So the main event was especially horrible. We had the Hangnail Adam Page defeating Jon Moxley to become the champion in a Texas death match, by the way. So
I know Jim Cornette was like, I hated this shit.
This match went viral for when the Hangnail was like nailing Moxley with like a screwdriver and busting him open hard way.
Yeah,
and that went viral. And hell, AEW shared that. They're proud of that. They're not embarrassed by, oh shit, let's not share this shit. No, they shared it on their Twitter and on their social media. Like they're proud of this moment. Like, look at how violent we are. They were comparing it to Piper and Junkyard Dog, their dog collar match, and
that was actually in proportion.
They
were brutal in that because it was a dog collar match, you dumbasses. And if I remember correctly, not one time did they bring out a screwdriver and started hitting each other with the goddamn screwdriver.
No, they used the dog collar to bust each other open and have a brutal match.
In proportion for the match because it was a dog collar match. Nowhere does it say in a Texas death match, excuse me. I don't even know what a fucking Texas death match is. I didn't even know what an Iranian death match was until I saw Kurt in one in Portland. But anyway, nowhere in the rules of a Texas death match does it say, oh, by the way, and pull out a screwdriver and make sure you bash the other guy with it.
I'm pretty sure that was Moxley's idea and Hangnail just did it.
Of course, I hate Moxley.
Moxley has a fetish for blood. Every match he has to have blood.
I love blood. I can't do it like Brian Last can do. Brian Last does a better one, but I can't do that. So he's just a piece of shit.
The silver lining is Moxley is no longer champion, but it had to have to be the Hangnail like anybody else. The first championship run he had, he wasn't over. Like he was like second match on pay-per-views and he was champion. I'm like, what? He's second match? Like, so even Tony was like, yeah, this motherfucker's not over. So let's just put him second match defending the title. If that's the case, take the belt off from him. Beat him. Eventually, Punk beat him. CM Punk ended up beating him, but yeah, it was just ridiculous. Now he's champion again. For
everyone, I am wearing my Karrion Kross shirt.
Oh right, yeah, you did. You did mention you were gonna wear it. All right, so that was all in. I'm glad I didn't pay $50. Hell,
see that horse shit.
They were AEW fans who kind of accidentally admitted that they illegally streamed the pay-per-view. And like, what? Did you just admit that, dude? I thought you were big fans. Why didn't you pay for it and support the company? Nope.
Yeah, no.
They accidentally admitted to illegally streaming the pay-per-view. It's like, I wouldn't even do that. I could do that if I wanted to, but I'm not even going to do that to review it. It's like, nah. All right, so the other event that happened, which I wasn't going to watch initially because I was going to do the show, but Evolution, the all female pay per view, was Sunday night.
I didn't watch it because I just I couldn't sleep and I had a headache.
I watched. I had it in the background. I didn't really watch it. I didn't pay. The only thing I did watch, there were two things I paid attention to. One was the women's battle royal to decide number one contender for the women's title at Clash
and it was
of Paris.
Nikki Bella, right?
Nikki Bella came back on that. Ultimately, Stephanie Vacour won, which is the right woman.
Oh, that's right, Stephanie. Okay, I'm glad that Stephanie won. Okay, I see big things for her. The only thing they were talking about her on Jim Cornette's show. The only thing I question is that smashing the face into the mat with your legs and that's between the legs.
That's a sexually charged move that Booker T got over in NXT with his ha 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 ha, and everybody loves it now. They do the same thing he did in NXT, so that's the only reason why that move got over because of Booker T.
Yeah, okay, I see now why. But and what I was most pissed off about is they what is Rhea Ripley not a star? Did she not win a fucking title now?
I paid attention to this match, and this match was awful. And everybody internet talked about what a great match this was. And I'm like, did you watch the same match I did? Because apparently nobody did, because I watched a different match. First of all, the whole story going into the match was ridiculous. Like, Rhea Ripley's never beaten Io Sky one-on-one. Like, seriously? If you look the size difference, does Triple H not realize that Rhea Ripley is nearly 6 feet tall and Io is like a tiny 5'1", 5'2" girl? Yeah. And somehow Rhea Ripley can't beat this girl and struggles every time they go up against each other. And by the way, Io Sky took most of this match. I'm like, why is Rhea selling so much for this tiny girl? Like, I don't understand this.
Right.
Like, why is she selling for her so much?
Well, and they were doing aerial moves, and I was like, oh my God. The only reason why Io Sky is a thing is because there's a lot of guys with a Japanese girl fetish. Why? Why? I mean, like I said, Rhea, I was hoping she would win. I didn't think that for 1 second that Naomi would come out and just throw the wrench in the whole fucking thing. And now she's fucking champ, a whole whoopee, They strapped a rocket to her, made her a star. But they're doing the same thing to Rhea that they did with Bayley. Bayley doesn't get over at all. She lets everyone else get over now.
Oh, by the way, Bayley did lose a 2 out of 3 falls match to Lyra. So now she's facing Becky for the Intercontinental again at SummerSlam.
Right.
Instead of Bayley. So Bayley's just putting over girls now to
And is that what Rhea's gonna do? I mean, I thought they were gonna strap a rocket to Rhea and make her a superstar.
Only 20. She's only 28, so there's no reason why she should be selling so much for Io and struggling to beat her. I mean, Rhea barely got any offense in this match. It was kind of like who booked this match, and why is Rhea Ripley allowing herself to be basically buried in this match?
Right. I'm glad it was sold out, but what I don't understand is, are you not going to give the belt to Rhea? But now it's going to come out on Raw and be like,
And now Adam Pearce booked a triple threat with Naomi, the champion, versus Io Sky and Rhea Ripley in a triple threat match. Which is, by the way,
guessing that Naomi's going to win because again, now if she loses, that would make her a false champion.
Yeah, she just got lucky. I
question, where the fuck is Rhea Ripley on this? Where does she fit in this?
I don't know. I don't know at this point, because then it gets worse, the match, because halfway through the match, they did a ref bump where Io Sky drop kicked the referee, Jessica Carr, the girl that, the blonde hair girl that referees matches. Then eventually they did the whole AEW deal where they go in the crowd and fight in the crowd. And then eventually Io Sky puts Rhea Ripley through tables that were obviously set up in order to be put through those tables. The difference is at least they knocked out the ref, unlike AEW, who just randomly walks around the crowd and buries the referee because he can't count to 10 because that'd be a double count out. So
right,
at least they didn't bury the referee here like they do in AEW, but they did the AEW thing and then they come back to the ring. I think not Rhea. Io hits her finish. And Jessica Carr, the referee, just pops back up and nothing ever happened. And then, like, okay, you got to go back in, Jessica. Here's your scene. 1, 2, kick out. Like, wait, what? She just got drop kicked. right in her face, basically, and she's no-selling it like after 5 minutes. You guys remember Earl Hebner, how he sold after he did ref bumps? Like he would crawl in, like oh shit, and crawl his carcass over towards the count, and like.
Yeah,
it was like and it
but
made sense.
He actually sold it through the whole thing, like he was really hurt.
Yeah,
but these refs today, they
pop back up and
in the ring now.
Yeah, Charles Robinson sells still because an old school referee understands how to do it.
Oh yeah,
the rest of them really don't sell. They just they sell when as soon as Triple H in their ear, like time to get up. It's like, oh, pop out 1, 2, oh, he kick out. Nothing ever happens. So just ridiculous. So then eventually Rhea continues selling and selling for Io and selling and selling. She gets in some moves. It goes right back to selling. Io counters, no problems. Goes selling and selling. And eventually they do a double down. They're both down. And here comes Naomi with her briefcase. Like, oh no. They're actually going to put the belt on her. And like a minute later, 1, 2, 3 was over. Less than a minute later, she threw Rhea into the steel steps or to the post. At least Rhea didn't take the fall. Io Sky did it. She would have taken the fall. That would have completely like buried her.
Yeah. So again, I'm questioning like
that was that
where
match.
does Rhea? Where does Rhea fit in this? Because that this triple threat match, Naomi has to win. Because otherwise, that was just a fluke. That was just because she had money in the bank, and
at SummerSlam.
These other wrestlers or these other entertainers were just there for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, she has to win at SummerSlam. Kind of like Jey Uso had to win his first title defense. So, that was. I suspect what's going to happen is Naomi's going to drop the belt to Stephanie at Clash in Paris. So she gets one title defense, and then she'll drop it to Stephanie at Clash in Paris. Because she's not a long-term champion. She's just like, they're going to transition the belt over to Stephanie, be my guess. And I don't know where that leaves Rhea Ripley in her career in WWE, because it just seems like she's just putting everybody over right now.
Unless she's literally going to go to SmackDown and challenge Tiffany Stratton. But then that whole thing, again, I don't really see Tiffany Stratton as anything but a mid-card, someone who was with Nia Jax and best friends with Nia Jax. And now she beat Nia Jax, so now where does that leave Nia Jax? She's not even in it.
She's beating everybody. I mean, hell, she beat Trish Stratus in the pay-per-view. Forgot to mention that Evolution. So I didn't watch the match, but she did beat Trish Stratus in that match. So blah blah blah.
That was just I wouldn't be surprised if that was almost a retirement match for Trish Stratus.
That's how they were like. That's somehow after the match, Trish was kind of standing there, and the fans were giving her a standing ovation, like a retirement match, even though it was never announced as that. So it seemed like it was a retirement match. So I refuse to watch wrestling and give Chris Jericho a title shot.
Shut up, bad cookies.
It seems like Chris Jericho is rumored to come back to WWE, have one last
run.
Oh,
please, Goddess, no. No, WWE, do not bring Chris Jericho back, or I will flip. I will flip.
At the same
fuck that guy. He could go suck a dick.
So Jericho, that was Evolution. It was what it was. Real quick before Alex comes on, he should be coming on any minute. Roman Reigns did come back on SmackDown. Seemed like to set up something with either Braun Breaker or at SummerSlam.
He came back on Raw.
Yeah.
I think now that Seth Rollins is hurt, they may elevate Braun Breaker. I'm excited to see that because he took most of that gauntlet match.
Oh yeah, he dominated that gauntlet match until CM Punk came out.
Oh my god, he was such a beast in there.
He was great.
And he looked great. He looked great. He was wrestling great. I mean, he did look a little tired after a while, a little blown up, but hey, that's normal.
But he had 4 matches before CM Punk came in.
So
4 different matches.
I would expect that, right?
That was the key. It was 4 different matches. It wasn't the same match 4 times. He did different.
And I didn't know CM Punk was in there. I was like, oh, damn it. Now who do I cheer for? I think I said that to you. I'm like, oh, Braun, let's go, Braun. Let's go CM Punk. Let's go, Braun. Let's go CM Punk. Son of a bitch.
Eventually, CM Punk won 1, 2, 3, and then they had the whole run at Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker beat up both Jey Uso and Punk. And so Roman Reigns came out to a gigantic pop. It was like, And then they're setting up a one-on-one match with him and Breaker at SummerSlam. What they should do is, if Roman Reigns wins, he gets 5 minutes alone with Heyman, like that old school thing.
Yes, I would like to see that. Only because he would finally get revenge and put to rest. Well, he couldn't get Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins is hurt. But I mean, at the very least, he could at least have that closure of, hey, I got to beat up Heyman for what he did to me at WrestleMania. WrestleMania.
You betrayed him.
He betrayed him at
both Punk
WrestleMania.
and Roman. Yeah. So,
hey, Bad Cookies, look, Karrion Kross, baby. Did everyone see that promo? Karrion Kross looked awesome.
Yeah, the what's that called? Vignette, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
the vignette he did. Yeah. That was great.
It was so good. I actually retweeted it. I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
So yeah, start going over to the other platforms because we got to go here.
That's the White Sox, not the Yankees. That's
Ooh. He's gonna come through and get you, Bad Cookies.
Well, what I've seen on X, the Yankees are shitting the bed again. Yeah. So, yep. So
again,
they're losing to the Braves again, and
at least the Mets lost again, and the Red Sox are losing again. So
I'm sure the Twins are losing as well, or lost.
So
they've been doing great this year.
Start going over to the other platforms. I haven't watched SmackDown yet, so I don't know what happened on it, but yeah, I haven't had a chance to check it out. But yeah, so that's that. So start going over the platforms. Check out Angel in the Afternoon this Friday actually at 7. Technically it's next Friday, but whatever. Pro Wrestling Talk will be back next Saturday at 8. Programming note before we go. The next Saturday after that is a 2-night SummerSlam. So we got to preview SummerSlam next Saturday.
Right.
It's 2 nights, so we'll not be on at all.
2-night pay-per-views. Why?
Well, no, I know they wanted. I know they have to stop that because they're tiring it out. But here's the thing: they wanted a big event. They want it like WrestleMania almost. Again, TKO is seeing dollar signs. Let's just make everything
all the big
pay-per-views a 2-night event. Like
nights.
WrestleMania.
I wouldn't be surprised they announced Survivor Series as 2 nights.
Well,
they haven't done it yet. But
Survivor Series gone to like a football stadium or whatever.
Oh, they're going to Petco in San Diego, Petco Park. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, so 2 weeks from now, SummerSlam, we will not do a show at all, obviously, because they're both nights. So we'll be back to Saturday after to review the whole friggin' thing. And so yeah, that's the programming note. Right. Make sure you like and subscribe and enjoy the show. And we're gonna see you guys next week if you don't come over for the clips. Have a nice weekend, everybody. Oh no, I'm about to stop the whole stream. Sorry, hold on. The YouTube I need to stop. Oh shit. Luckily I caught myself. So peace out. All right, so we're off my channel. Let me get off the other channel. And then we'll get into.
I'm actually going to come back in because it says, oops, lost connection, reconnecting. So I'm going to actually be right back with you guys.
Yeah,
okay?
Reload in. That's what that means.
All
right.
Before we go to my videos, we can look at those chair shot videos like I mentioned a couple weeks ago.
Oh, on YouTube, those compilations.
Yeah.
Oops. Hold on. Let me. Right. Yeah, we'll do that. Just give me a minute to get out of this. All right, we're out. We're out on YouTube.